Every time I open this garage, I'm reminded of how far I got to go. I wasn't born into this. I didn't inherit a shop full of tools, and most days, I feel like I'm in way over my head. But then I remember why I started, because the Fastback is more than just a car to me. It's my holy grail, my proof that I can take something broken and make it roar again. I'm just an average guy with average tools, fighting to turn this rusted out coupe into the Fastback of my dreams. I'm Amato, and this is Rust to Roar.
All right, so there is so much geometry and curvature and bends and turns to this deck lid. It's not a normal four-corner deck lid and you gotta fit it in a square. No, this is much more in depth than that. The stakes are even higher because I built this car myself and I don't know if all the measurements are accurate on how they're supposed to be. I don't know if this deck lid from Taiwan is even accurate. So in times like this, I had to turn and ask for help from someone who has done more fastback conversions than I can count on 6 hands. He is the Mustang expert, and you've probably heard of him. His name is Hunter from Lost Socket Garage, and he is actually gonna get on FaceTime and direct me what to do, because right now, all I wanna do is cut, twist, bend, and I'm not sure if it's the right thing. So let's get on the phone with Hunter and see what he has to say. Hey!
What's up, dog?
Guys, this is Hunter from Lost Socket Garage, one of the experts. Go check out the channel. Doing good. I just need the expert guidance because I'm about to start cut shit and I don't know if it's the right stuff to cut, but I'll show you what we got going on.
We usually don't even put the deck lid on because we know that the opening from the inside corner of your quarter panel to the other side is 53 inches.
52 and probably 7/8.
Now, right off the bat, Hunter gave me a list of stuff that I could correct, and he recommended some tools that I could actually use to do it. I felt relieved and I felt eager to start. And then he informed me something I might want to look out for because it could cause big problems later on.
I'll tell you, and this is going to be probably not something you really want to hear, but if you're lower in one side, you're not going to be able to get that back window square for the life of you. You're going to pull your hair out.
Now, Hunter gave me some really solid advice that's going to help me a ton. But when he said I have to readjust the entire inner structure to make it fit 20 inches, I froze for a second. Because that would mean cutting out all of my welds and redoing everything just for 1/4 of an inch. So for now, I've really got to think about this one.
Oh, it's stressful. I don't know how he does this every day, but go check out his channel because that just helped me a ton. And he can help you if you're doing one, or his videos are just entertaining regardless. Super cool, funny personality. Thank you so much, Hunter. I appreciate it.
With all of the clarity I gained from Hunter, I made a to-do list of everything he said. First, get the roof square and centered. Then weld on the angle iron and get the rear distance to 53 inches. And lastly, fix those end caps. We have a lot of shit to do. Getting this back windshield square was critical. If it's even a little off, we risk not being able to fit the glass once everything's welded. But at the same time, if the gap's too wide, the windshield could just fall right through. That's why Hunter's measurements had to be dead on, so we spent a long time checking, rechecking, and measuring again.
We gotta lock this in over here with the self-tapper. So my dad and I just got this back panel square, and it's within this measurement that Hunter said, 33.5 and 33 5/8. So that glass should fit perfectly, and it's even here as it is here. So it's square. But what we're dealing with now is we have to fold it over this front edge, and if you just apply pressure to the middle, it should fold over. So you guys can see it sticking up there. Like, yours went in? It definitely did. Definitely see a dent from that.
Why would you do that?
I definitely just dented the shit out of it. That's fun.
I applied some pressure and it snapped down.
There you go. You stuck on your rail on your side?
Nope. Whew.
That was it.
All right, see, now it's flat over this lip and it's sitting pretty much flush.
Step 1 complete, the roof is now square and even.
In doing that though, I just dented the shit out of the roof by hammering it, so we'll have to fix that later. Let me circle that.
I'm just seeing my dad call me psycho in editing. Well, at least I don't have a huge nose. Next, we apply blue painter's tape all around.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is just test fit the glass. Naturally, the glass will fit in here, but I just wanna see how square it is compared to everything, because there's gonna be a seal around the glass that is really thick. So I just wanna make sure it fits in here without a problem before any welding actually gets done. So this is the rear glass right here. This I think was like $500 something with freight, but we went and picked it up for $600 with freight, so let's put it in.
My dad and I drove from Buffalo all the way to Kentucky to pick up this Fastback conversion kit just to save a little money.
We'll want to flip it on the curved part so it's raised. I'm gonna rip off this tape. The metal that you see here that sticks out, like this thin piece of metal right here, it fits into the crevice inside of this. So we won't be able to put it on because you need string for that, and once you put it on, you don't really take it off.
But we're not putting this on permanently, we're just doing a test fit to make sure it's squared and it actually fits in there, and as long as it's close, we're gonna be satisfied with that. A little bit of glass cleaner took all the smudges off just so we could see what it actually looks like inside of
Looks
here.
good.
It's like the car's actually coming together. Like if you look from the inside, it's weird because this whole time I've been working on it, it's just been open, but seeing it enclosed in is pretty cool. And the
Let's
gap,
paint it.
yeah, the chrome will fit right in here. So if there's a little bit of a gap, that's actually a good thing because there's these pins that actually hold the chrome on, so you need that slot.
Now I'm gonna get the 53 inches that Hunter suggested.
So we're gonna use this jack to pry this just like a 1/16 of an inch.
I thought this bottle jack was a great idea to spread this, but I didn't realize that hydraulics don't work sideways.
Go get the quarter power.
My dad got fed up and told me to go get the real tool to do this job, except I didn't have money for it, so it's going on his card. So back to Harbor Freight for the 5th time this week, I got the correct tool and brought it back home to learn how to use. The hydraulic took a little bit to get set up because it was way overkill. It was bigger than I needed because this one was on sale at Harbor Freight. But once I finally got it in, I measured 53 and I stretched it a little past that.
All right, so I think I got the hydraulic in here. I got the pump down here, and now I'm just gonna try to expand this just a little bit. I hear a lot of cracks, but I'm not sure if those are good cracks or bad cracks, but
Once I put the cell tappers in, it stopped right at 53 inches, so I know that I'm now safe to do this deck lid.
so now that this is sitting right at 53, I'm gonna actually grind these old ones off, and then I'm gonna weld these back on because these tabs are what squeezes this together, and I really shouldn't have never cut them off. I had to cut them off because it was cutting up this trunk deck lid, and I thought that's what I needed to fix first, but I don't have to. So I'm gonna put these back on, weld them back on, and then I can actually pinch this gap closed.
I didn't come up with this angle iron trick, but when I found out about it, I needed to do it myself because it made closing this gap so simple.
So now you guys can see that I have these 2 pieces of angle iron tacked on here. Now let's see how much I could close this gap just by squeezing this. Now I'm gonna weld the tack here, and then I'm gonna weld the tack here. You don't actually have to fill this. You can leave it so it's a seam and put seam sealer in it, but I wanna fill it. I like that smooth transition look, but I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm just gonna do a tack here and tack here for now in case I have to remove it in the future. Now I essentially got to do the same thing to this side. This is arguably a bigger gap than the other side, so definitely gotta do this one.
And the exact same process with this side. Weld on the angle iron, get a pair of vice grips to pinch it closed, and once it's closed, tack it, and then you can just cut off the angle iron again. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I would appreciate if you could like and maybe subscribe, and definitely leave a comment if you have a suggestion or you want to yell at me or tell me something funny. I don't really care. I read all of your comments and I appreciate them so much.
All right, so now I'm gonna use a ratchet and a 1/2 inch socket to adjust the hinges just so I could close this a little better because it keeps scraping, so I gotta fix that. All right, look how pretty this thing is. 24 karat gold plated ratchet. Look how sick that is. And it's 90 tooth. So look, even the slightest movement.
I played with the hinges just a little bit just to see if I could fit this deck lid any better, and it actually worked.
All right, so now that that's not getting fully stuck anymore, I can work on the other stuff. By the way, here's the winner from last video who won the ratchet. You can win the same exact ratchet with the coolest Rust to Roar merch in the description below. Shop that, any purchase counts, and I'm picking one winner every video to win something. These were the last winners for the other stuff, and this time I'm giving away this bad boy. All right, so here's what we got done so far on our to-do list. We got the roof squared and centered. We got the angle iron welded on and we pinched that in close and welded it. We got the distance in this back to 53 inches, which Hunter recommended that as long as I get that, you will be fine fitting this later and just worry about the other stuff he said. So we got that. And then fix end cap gaps, the hardest part for last. So next, we're gonna fix these, and I think I'm gonna cut out the metal. I kind of drew it out right here. I think I'm gonna cut out this metal and play with it a little bit. The good thing about metal is you can always cut and add and not add, and it's just like, it's metal, it's welding. You can always put it back. So I'm not too worried about that. But I'm gonna do all that tomorrow because it is 12 o'clock at night right now. And I feel like I did nothing today, but I also feel like if I didn't have this day, then I wouldn't be productive any other day.